Hey, hello, welcome back to my channel. As you can see from the title, this video is about precautions I take after having had plastic surgery, specifically a breast augmentation, in the hopes that sharing my experience I get to help someone else, or at least just entertain you. The first one is sleeping on my stomach. To not put pressure on my breast, I prop myself with pillows and I put them on my shoulders, like say two on my shoulders and then one on my face. And then sometimes I put a pillow on my ribs also, or sometimes just like my hips. So there's like a hole of no pillows. So there is very minimal pressure that I'm putting. There have been nights that I accidentally just flip. I do feel pressure and it wakes me up. It feels exactly like what is happening, that my breasts are just getting squished from outside and inside at the same time. So the breast tissue is getting pressed by the implant and my whole body weight and from the bed, so I try not to do that. Okay, second point related to the first one, tight bras. I noticed with this specific sports bra, compression sports bra I have, it's a very thick stretch material. It doesn't have the cut on the fabric to cup the breast. It's just flat. Too tight, too uncomfortable. The only material that I can get with flat cuts are light, thin, stretchy materials like cotton. Okay, pectoral workouts. I accidentally worked out my pecs. I was sore for like 3 or 4 days. The implants are under my muscles, so every movement I make, it squeezes on the implant. Then I start thinking of how much tighter my muscle is now, so there's more pulling on the incision. Even though it's been 3-4 years since I got the surgery, the incisions are healed completely, I'm sure, but still I don't like it. Workouts for pecs, no go for me either. Fourth point, another precaution I take is being more mindful of the activities I engage in. I still do things when the opportunity comes, but I am a little more cautious. I won't drive down a rocky hill on a bike, but I'll ride a bike on a nice trail. Safe. You understand. Fifth point. I'm pretty sure we all know by now, there is leakage from the shell of the, not even from inside of the implant, but just from the shell itself. There is minimal but still constant leakage of silicone. So I'm trying to counteract or at least mitigate the negative things I put on my body that I know is no good. If I already know that I have silicone implants in my body, I try to make sure that everything else, the food I eat, the water I drink, the products I use on my skin directly, like lotions, face wash, soap, shampoo, to like toothpaste, feminine products, the dish soap, chemical free. Like for my food, I make sure that things are organic, free range, grass-fed, non-GMO, no hormones, no antibiotics, no preservatives. I try to stay away from corn as much as I can, as well as rice and other grains. I eat gluten-free and things like that. I do have little slips here and there, but for the most part my diet is quite clean. My water is from a spring and there's nothing added to it. It's filtered naturally through rocks. Everything that I can, I do for my health, just in general, to maintain health while I have the implants. And for the day I decide to either switch them or explants, I am at optimal health. The sixth point is random massages for blood circulation. Some surgeons recommend massaging the breast after surgery. Some other surgeons don't. They say that it is irrelevant, it doesn't do anything. When I first went through the surgery, I was very new to having the breast implants and was like in the healing process. My skin was super tight and shiny and like squishy. It was like a week post-op. I remember that feeling of taking off the surgical bra and feeling like I still had something else to take off, not being able to take a full breath because my skin was so tight, and then there was something else in between my skin and my ribs, so they couldn't expand as well. My skin wasn't stretched out yet. They're still very perky, very tight. I'm not stretched out. My skin has accommodated enough. I can take full breaths, or I believe whatever my capacity of a full breath now, that's my full breath. Got a little distracted, but I remember just wanting to slice the bottom of my breast, just let the implants flop down to the ground, like just drop. So because I was so weirded out about the implants in there at the beginning, and I had so much going on that I kind of ignored it, I didn't do the breast massages. It was probably about a year or 2 years after the surgery that I started doing breast massages. I waited 2 years to go to the last consultation with the surgeon, and I told him that I hadn't done the massages, and he said it was fine, that I could start doing them now at that time, 2 years post-op. So I listened to him, and I did do that for a little bit, and I noticed that my breasts did get a little softer. I didn't do the massages for too long, but then there's always an immediate like extra softness when I do a massage, like right after a massage. And there's like natural stages that my breasts go throughout the month. A week before I get my period, my breasts usually like plump up, and I love the look I get. Like my cleavage up here gets a little fuller. My breasts did this even before the surgery, so I'm glad that's like a sign that they're alive and still doing their thing. The seventh and last point for today is stretching and back strengthening. Before the surgery, I already did not have like the best posture. Now with the weight of the implants, I did notice my posture changed a little. I hunch. I do this a little more often than I used to. So I've been trying to stretch just to keep the mobility. Along with that point was back strengthening. So I have been working out my back. If you are thinking about getting a breast augmentation or already have it booked and are about to get it soon, like in months, if you know that your posture needs improvement before your surgery, start strengthening your back and working on that posture, because having implants would just worsen that, and now you have something that's kind of like not an obstacle, but it adds up to the challenge of doing that. So I did a little bit before, but not as I should have. Another extra point that I will put in here for like precautions right after surgery was putting like scar treatment on the incisions. After I was able to take off the sticker from the incisions and the surgeon said it was okay for me to put products on the scar, I did. I wasn't scared about the scar at all because I got my appendix removed, and that was a scar about this big, and it healed pretty well. Just a tiny little discoloration, but for the most part it just looks like part of a fold on my skin, so I wasn't scared about there like any scars on my breast. And I was right, my skin healed just as nicely as it did on the appendix removal incision. So the incisions are pretty light, barely noticeable, at least for me. They don't bother me at all. For you can see, this is my results. This is again 3 or 4 years post-op. This is my cleavage.